Please read and pay attention to the disclaimer on this slide. One of the first things people want to know is what makes stocks move up or down. As it turns out, stocks tend to be influenced by three categories of events. The first category includes events big enough to significantly impact the direction of the overall stock market. The second category involves industry sector news and developments that impact many stocks in a particular sector, like software or banking. And finally, we have company-specific news. We're going to talk about all three categories in this lesson. Let's start with the direction of the stock market. To better understand its importance, think of the stock market as an ocean and stocks as ships sailing on it. When the ocean rises or falls, all the ships sailing on it rise or fall as well. In a similar manner, when the stock market rises or falls, most stocks move in the same direction up or down. Let's do an example of a stock market event. What if aliens from outer space attack Earth? The stock market would unsurprisingly crash. It wouldn't matter which stocks investors owned because they're all going down. While this is an unlikely event, the example highlights an important point. Big events lead to big changes in the market, which tend to impact most, if not all, stocks. On the other hand, small changes in the market tend not to have much impact on individual stocks. The 2020 COVID-related lockdown period was a great example of a stock market-level event. The collapse in economic activity hit the stock market hard. Starting in late February, the market fell by an astounding 33% in just 1 month. Given the scale of the market collapse, there was nowhere to hide. Almost every stock went down dramatically. Let's shift from the direction of the stock market as a factor to industry sector performance. In the real estate market, they say it's all about the location. What matters most is which neighborhood you're in. In the stock market, the neighborhood matters too, but neighborhood means which industry sector a stock is in. For example, over the past 15 years, oil and gas stocks have been poor investments, while internet stocks produced amazing returns for investors. When an entire industry sector declines or rises sharply in the stock market, most stocks in that sector typically move in the same direction. Let me explain with another unlikely scenario. What if it turns out that dragons do exist and they hate airplanes? They make sure people don't fly planes anymore. All airline stocks would crash. It wouldn't matter which airline stock you owned because they're all going down. That's an example of industry sector news that could impact most stocks in a particular sector. Earlier, I said a great example of the importance of industry sector performance is a comparison of the oil and gas and the internet sectors. Oil and gas companies have been facing growing environmental and societal pressures, leading to a shift towards renewable energy sources and technologies aimed at reducing carbon footprints. As a result, the future outlook for the sector worsened over the past decade. In contrast, the internet sector driven by global digitization trends has been enjoying strong growth with a positive future outlook. Given the very different outlook for oil and gas companies and internet companies, it should come as no surprise that the stock performance of each sector has also been very different. Look at the chart on the slide which shows the relative performance of the oil and gas sector, the blue line, and the internet stock sector, the orange line. From 2014 to early 2024, the index of oil and gas stocks appreciated by only 3%. Only 3% over an entire decade. In contrast, the index of internet stocks rose 340%. Oil and gas stocks also dramatically underperformed the S&P 500 index, which many investors use as a measure of the broader stock market. That index, marked by the green line, rose 288% over the past decade. I hope this brings home the point that in the stock market, the industry sector a stock is in, its neighborhood, can matter a lot. Company-specific news tends to impact only a small group of stocks or even a single stock. It doesn't impact the broader stock market. Imagine a bouquet of roses. Something caused a single rose to die while the others bloom beautifully. Now think of news that greatly impacts a single stock, but leaves the overall stock market unaffected. Let's discuss an example of company-specific news that would greatly impact only one company's stock price. What if, for some unknown reason, all of Nike's new shoes start melting when exposed to sunlight? People begin calling them vampire shoes. Nike's stock collapses. Other athletic shoe stocks would be unaffected. They might even benefit from the news. The stock market would also likely be unaffected. This news would only impact a single company, Nike. Remember the discussion of the 2015 E. coli scare at Chipotle Mexican Grill in Lesson 2, Part 2, and the risk of non-diversification when investing? The 2-year 60% decline in the company's stock price in response to news that their food were making customers sick was a real-life case study in company-specific risk. The news only hurt Chipotle's stock, not other restaurant stocks or the overall stock market. You should know that there are factors outside of the stock market that can also impact stock prices. The reason is that investors have many choices of where to invest their money across many different types of assets other than stocks like bonds, commodities, and cryptocurrencies. Because of all these choices, stocks compete for investor interest with other types of investments. That competition can have a big impact on the stock market. Let's discuss this competition dynamic further. Not all asset classes compete with stocks with the same intensity or time frame. Some asset classes are alternatives to stocks, but over a much longer time frame. Look at real estate as an alternative to the stock market. You can't buy and sell a house multiple times during a single day, like you can with stocks. There's much more inertia involved getting in and out of a property. So short-term changes in real estate prices don't typically exert very much influence over the stock market. Other assets, like Bitcoin and gold, don't pay investors any income like stocks and bonds. Accordingly, what happens to their prices doesn't necessarily have any direct impact on stock prices beyond signaling a change in sentiment about the economy. This brings us to interest rates, which are determined by trading in the credit markets. Just to be clear, credit markets are where investors and borrowers trade debt instruments, like bonds. Unlike stocks, these instruments do not represent ownership in a company, but rather guarantee fixed payments for a specified period. Interest rates can act like the 800-pound gorilla in the room when it comes to the stock market, becoming the most important factor when it comes to determining the market's direction. Lower rates generally make borrowing cheaper, encouraging business investments and consumer spending, which can lift stock prices. Conversely, higher rates can increase borrowing costs, squeeze corporate profits, and slow down economic activity, leading to a decline in stock prices.